Hi, David Hart here from G4 Guitar. What I'm going to do in this video is introduce you to picking. So let's first of all have a look at the pick itself. You can see that the pick has a big side and a small side. So what we want to do is just hold your thumb up like this, bring the pick up against your thumb and use your other finger to hold it in place. And what you can see there is that I'm generally holding about 2/3 of the pick, so only about 1/3 of the pick is actually coming out. And there are a couple of things that I'll explain to you here which are more long-term thinking. And the first thing is, by holding it with your first finger, it keeps these fingers free. There are some very good players who hold it with their second finger, even a few with their third, but it's just a habit. They tend to go for the longer finger as a habit when they first start. But the reason this finger is better is because we're going to have these fingers free to do things. Now the other thing is that by holding the pick at about 2/3 into the thumb, so the biggest part sort of covering the thumb, is it's going to allow us later to do these things that are called harmonics, which allow us to sort of bounce the string off our finger. And if your finger's too far back, it's very difficult to do that. But that's not for now, that's for further down the track as you progress. So, okay, so again, thumb up, pick against the thumb and use the first finger to hold it in place. So that's how we hold it. The second thing that I want you to think about here is what we call bracing. So if you have a look at the guitar here, what I'm going to do is you're going to see me put my fingers here. Now, some people say don't brace, keep the hand free, but it's not really a good technique for beginners, and this has been shown. We've been doing this for many, many years, and we know that by bracing, it's going to give you a better position. By having the bracing there, having those fingers on the guitar itself, it allows you not to have to look, so you know where you are. You get your bearings, so to speak. It just gives you that kind of point of reference to navigate yourself around the strings. But it doesn't mean that you hold firmly in that position and never move. What you do is you actually move depending on what you're doing, but you're using the fingers to kind of guide you. It's like, you know, if you're in a dark room and you couldn't see anything, you're sort of feeling yourself a way around the room so you know where everything is. So the idea here is that you're feeling your way around and gradually get to know it without looking. And that's really what we want to do here, is we want to have the fingers either there. And you can see as I pick in different positions, my fingers actually come up onto the strings themselves. They're not just on the body, they're actually on the strings depending on what I'm doing. So to give you a really close-up look there, you can see my fingers are touching the body. And I'm actually only ever touching lightly. I'm not pushing hard. It's just a light touch, just so I know where I'm at and my positioning. So I don't have to look at my hands. When I play and when I pick, if I'm doing some picking, then you can see I don't need to look to see where my fingers are. And that applies to both hands. This hand has the positioning, if you like, of the equivalent is the thumb. Thumb comes up behind the neck of the guitar. We're not going to really talk about this right now because this is a picking video, but just so you know, that's the same idea. It's here we're using the thumb, but here we're using the fingers to know our position. Now, the other thing that you want to do when you do start picking is just don't just go quickly. Don't just try and do it all at once. What you're really wanting to do here is get the technique down first. Speed is totally irrelevant at this point. What you want to do is just, if you can hear there, every note has to be picked clearly. And if you watch there, I'll bring it up nice and close. You can see how that I'm sort of picking and stopping about halfway between the two strings. So I don't over pick. I don't go like this. I just pick within a small area. And the idea is that you're going to stay there in that and try and keep that. You can see that I'm keeping the motion slow or small, so that way the picking is accurate. So if you look at my hand, you can see that I don't really move my wrist. There's very little movement in the wrist itself. It's all actually in the picking. So I hope that gives you an idea, and what that's going to do is as you develop, you'll be able to get faster, but you'll keep your accuracy. It's not important to, well, it's not, being fast is not really, shouldn't be your goal, because if you're fast and inaccurate, it doesn't sound very good. The idea is to sound good. Always have a good tone, a good sound. People much prefer a player who sounds good at a slow speed than a fast player who sounds sloppy and messy and doesn't have good tone. So that's what we're aiming here for, is to get that nice tone in every note that we play. Okay, I hope that's helped you, and if you move on to the next video, you'll see more about the other skills, the other 6 skills that we cover. Thank you.